Walk into any supplement store, physical or online, and you're hit with a wall of promises. Thousands of bottles, powders, and pills, all promising more energy, better focus, faster fat loss, and a longer life. The supplement industry is a behemoth worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's built on our deep-seated desire to feel better. But here's the uncomfortable truth that gets buried under the marketing slogans. Most supplements have weak evidence. Some have no evidence at all, and many of them are very effective at just one thing: creating expensive urine. So what if we stripped away all the hype? If we ignored the flashy labels and the celebrity endorsements and looked only at the cold, hard science? Which supplements would actually be left standing? Today, we're cutting through the noise to explore 3 supplements that are supported by some of the strongest, most consistent scientific evidence out there: creatine, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D. Let's see what the research really says. Before we dive in, it's critical to understand why the supplement aisle is so confusing in the first place. A supplement isn't automatically beneficial just because it's natural. That's a marketing term, not a scientific one. Many popular supplements, the ones you see advertised everywhere, are often supported by flimsy evidence. This might mean very small studies with only a handful of participants. It could mean studies funded by the companies selling the product, creating a clear conflict of interest. Or it could be based on animal studies that never translate to humans. The strongest, most reliable evidence doesn't come from a single, exciting study. It comes from a large body of research built over decades. We're talking about large, randomized controlled trials, the gold standard of medical research, where one group gets the supplement and another gets a placebo, and nobody knows who got what until the end. We're talking about systematic reviews and meta-analyses, where scientists gather all the high-quality studies on a topic and analyze the collective results. This rigorous process is like a filter. It weeds out the products that don't work. And the 3 supplements we're discussing today have passed through that filter time and time again. That's why they consistently appear at the top of evidence-based recommendations. Let's start with the heavyweight champion of performance supplements, creatine. If there were a Hall of Fame for supplements based on research volume, creatine would be a first ballot entry. It is, without a doubt, one of the most researched supplements in history. And it's not some strange synthetic chemical. Your body naturally produces it, primarily in the liver and kidneys. You also get it from foods like red meat and fish. About 95% of the creatine in your body is stored inside your muscles, which gives us a clue about its primary job. At the cellular level, everything you do is powered by a molecule called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. Think of ATP as the direct energy currency for your cells.
When you lift a heavy weight, sprint, or do any intense, short-burst activity, your muscles burn through their ATP stores incredibly fast. This is where creatine steps in. Its main role is to help rapidly regenerate that ATP. It acts like a short-term energy reserve, donating a phosphate molecule to quickly recycle used ATP back into usable energy. This allows your muscles to sustain high-intensity effort for just a little bit longer. That's the mechanism behind its most proven benefit: improving strength, power output, and high-intensity exercise performance. Study after study for decades has shown that people who supplement with creatine can lift more weight, perform more reps, and sprint faster. But the benefits might not stop at the gym. Emerging research is now exploring creatine's role in the brain. Your brain is an energy-hungry organ, also using ATP, so it makes sense that creatine might support brain function. Some studies suggest it can improve cognitive performance, particularly on tasks involving short-term memory and reasoning, especially in situations where the brain is stressed, like during sleep deprivation. Research is even looking into its potential to support healthy aging by preserving muscle mass and possibly offering neuroprotective effects.
Of course, with popularity comes myths. The biggest one is that creatine is dangerous for your kidneys. This has been thoroughly debunked. Decades of research in healthy people have found creatine to be remarkably safe when used at appropriate doses. For the vast majority of people, the standard 3 to 5 grams per day of creatine monohydrate, the most studied and affordable form, remains one of the most effective supplements on the market. Next up, we have omega-3 fatty acids. These are essential fats, which means our bodies can't make them from scratch. We have to get them from our diet. The most famous sources are fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. The two most studied and biologically active forms of omega-3s are EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. Unlike a substance that just triggers a temporary effect, omega-3s become a physical part of you. They are incorporated directly into the membranes of your cells all throughout your body. This is a huge deal. The type of fat in your cell membranes influences how fluid and flexible they are and how they communicate with other cells. This is especially important in the brain, which is nearly 60% fat, with a large portion of that being DHA. It's also critical for the retina in your eyes and for the cells of your cardiovascular system. This structural role helps explain their benefits. The strongest evidence for omega-3 supplementation is in heart health, specifically for their ability to lower high triglyceride levels, a type of fat in your blood that can increase heart disease risk. They may also have a modest effect on lowering blood pressure. Beyond the heart, scientists have extensively investigated their anti-inflammatory properties and their potential role in brain function and mood regulation. Some research suggests a link between omega-3 intake and reduced symptoms of depression, though the evidence is still developing. However, it is crucial to be realistic. Omega-3s are not miracle pills. The benefits for most people are generally modest rather than dramatic. But in a market flooded with unproven products, they remain one of the most extensively studied and fundamentally important nutrients you can supplement with, especially if you don't regularly eat fatty fish. Finally, let's talk about vitamin D, with a very important caveat. Vitamin D is unique. It's often called a vitamin, but it functions more like a hormone in the body. And while you can get it from some foods, your body's main way of producing it is when ultraviolet sunlight hits your skin. Vitamin D plays a huge role in the body, most famously in bone health. It's essential for absorbing calcium from your gut. Without enough vitamin D, you can't get enough calcium, no matter how much you consume, which can lead to weak and brittle bones. It's also a critical player in regulating your immune system. Now, here's where things get interesting, and this is the caveat. The benefit of vitamin D supplementation is almost entirely conditional. If a person is deficient in vitamin D, and many people are, especially those in northern climates with darker skin or who get little sun exposure, then correcting that deficiency with a supplement can provide significant health benefits. It can strengthen bones, support immune function, and improve a range of other processes. But, and this is a big but, if your vitamin D levels are already normal, taking extra large doses is unlikely to provide any additional advantages. More is not always better. In fact, excessively high levels of vitamin D can be toxic, leading to a dangerous buildup of calcium in the blood. This is why the conversation around vitamin D is shifting. Experts increasingly emphasize testing first and then supplementing accordingly. A simple blood test can tell you your exact vitamin D level, allowing for targeted, personalized supplementation, rather than just blindly taking high doses because you heard it was good for you. So, creatine, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D. Notice something interesting about these three? None of them are magic. None of them promise to transform your life overnight, and absolutely none of them can replace healthy habits. No supplement in existence can compensate for a lifestyle of poor sleep, chronic stress, lack of exercise, or a diet built on highly processed foods. The most powerful, most evidence-based health interventions are still the boring ones. Moving your body regularly, eating whole, nutritious foods, getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, managing your stress, and not smoking. Supplements, even the best ones, should only ever do what their name implies: supplement a healthy lifestyle, not act as a substitute for one. So, if you're looking for supplements that are actually backed by a mountain of scientific evidence, creatine, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D are three of the most well-studied and reliable options available. But always remember, the real secret to health isn't finding the perfect pill in a bottle. It's in building a solid foundation of healthy choices, day in and day out.